Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Candace. If you are new here, I am a new eBay reseller. This morning I am at the Goodwill bins, aka Goodwill outlet. This is a special location that there's only a handful of warehouses throughout the country, and it's basically a place where things that don't end up at Goodwill shelves, because there's so many items to process every year, most of it ends up here. Yes, if it ends up at Goodwill shelves and it doesn't get sold, it also ends up here. But I'd say I've been coming here for like a month now. This is, I think, like my fourth or fifth trip here. And I only see Goodwill tags, far and few between, like less than 10% of the items that I see going through stuff. So this is really a good opportunity to find a great deal if you're looking for an amazing deal and you don't know what the Goodwill outlet store is. They charge you by the pound. So you fill up your cart, and at the very end, they weigh your cart, and then you just pay a price per pound. And I don't know the exact pricing, which I'll get a snapshot of it when I go in there. It's a little under $2 per pound. And I have found some amazing deals. Last time I came on last Wednesday, I missed the boat. I didn't get here at 8 a.m. I sat in a ton of traffic. And I got in like at 8:10. I got up extra early this morning so I could get here on time. It is 7:40, so I'm here with plenty of time. And I'm going to go wait in line in the front there because as soon as the doors open, there is kind of like the fresh bins right around the corner where you can find some really good deals. So I'm going to take you with me and we're going to see what we can find today. And I know it. Every time I come, I always find at least something that will pay for my shopping trip. So let's go ahead and get in there and check it out. When you come up to the Goodwill outlet, it is a giant warehouse type building, and the signage in front looks different. As you can see here, it has that little tag looking sign, like a sale tag. So I go ahead and I try and get out of my car right before they open and be there as soon as the doors open so that I can try and get with all of the regulars and run in and around the corner, which we did. We hustled in, and right out the gate, I didn't find any top items, but I hustle in anyways because you never know what you're going to find. And so here we are, the doors open, and all of us start rushing in, running around the corner. But anyways, jumping into the shoe pull that happened about 10 minutes later, which quite honestly is probably the craziest bin pull that I experienced there. It only happens once in the morning, I noticed. And they do it once again, kind of midday. I do not know if they do it later in the day, but that one is not frequent. As you can see here, I'm lining up time after time. The clothing bin pull and the hard good bin pull happens pretty regularly. I'd probably say they pull a new set of bins out every 20 to 30 minutes on the regular, all throughout the floor. So here we are, we're all lined up, waiting for it to come down the line to try and find something. And I did. I found a handful of items in that bin, so I was really excited. And then you notice I come back over to the shoe bin, even though it's been picked over. And I do this also with the hard good bins. I've noticed that I find really good stuff, even in picked over bins. And I always revisit old bins, like that shoe bin earlier. And I'll come back to other hard good bins because people throw stuff back all the time for whatever reason it is. So I'm over here checking it out. And you'll notice I'm wearing gloves, and I highly recommend that you wear gloves when you go to Goodwill bins because I have touched some suspicious things. Very dirty things too. Not everything is filthy, but a lot of stuff can be. But these gloves are not sufficient for the long term, and I'm hoping here at the bins that I can find some gloves that will be better, because as you can see here, you'll find broken items, and I've almost cut my hand a couple of times on some broken pottery or glassware, and so I'm trying to find some gloves that will do me better in the future. Anyways, I make it over to the corner where I see those bikes there, very cute, but I don't need any bikes. But this art is what has been popping out to me. So I saw these posters framed and I saw a handful of other art items and I pulled one out because it's only $3.99 for each of those, either art pieces or mirrors, and they're huge. And I thought to myself, okay, if I can find some art that is worth value, maybe if I can't handle this giant frame shipping it because it sounds far too expensive, I could probably remove the art out of the frame and roll it up and put it in a tube to sell it. So that's why I kind of made my way over here. So you see I'm checking this one out. Ended up being that this one was not worth much. And so for as beautiful and as giant and heavy as it was, I decided to leave it. But I did check this one also. Didn't find anything of high value. But all in all, I think it's definitely worth checking out should you do that, should you make to Goodwill bins. So that was my last stop of the day. And I went ahead and checked out and got to the car. Okay, I have shopped and I want to drop. I need a second coffee really bad. So I'm going to get home so I can get my coffee. But I got some heavier stuff today, but I think the heavier stuff that I got is going to pay off on the flip because of recent sales that I've made. And if you can guess, yes, it's in the fall winter category of clothing, jackets. I've sold a handful of them so far that have been heavy, and so I've gotten the return on investment, and I feel like it's the season to really look for those. And so I've gotten a handful of those, and I have purchased more jeans. I think that if I can nail down the jean recipe on eBay, whatever that is, if I can find them here on a regular basis, this might be a really good everyday mover category for me. So if you're a person who sells jeans, tell me what the formula is. I was just looking at sell-through rate on different brands and just trying to go based off of that and what I know to be know to be popular right now. What else? I got a couple of other random, unique, fun items, which I cannot wait to show you. So let's get back. I'm going to get refreshed and I will showcase them all to you right now. Okay, I am back and I am refreshed. I got organized. I did a little bit more research on some items, and I'm going to continue to do more research on the items that I got. But I want to show you everything, and it's a lot. This was a big shopping trip for me. I spent $111 on a little over 40 items. And you might be thinking to yourself, Candace, that was too many items. It may have been on this trip. I was a little pressed for time at the end there. And you come to the end and you kind of make like your yes pile and your no pile. And I had the middle pile, which is I'm conflicted pile. I don't know is anyone else have a third pile? That's me. This is the I don't know. Is this a yes or no? I don't know. And everything that was in the I'm conflicted pile just ended up in the yes pile because I was running out of time and I had to get out of there. And so, all in all, I think that even if it's a mediocre purchase or maybe even a poor purchase, it was a big learning moment for me. Just in the little bit of time I've had to do research while I was there, getting organized, and here now I'm chatting with you for the showcase, I have learned so much. Like my product knowledge has expanded so much more. I picked up items that I have not yet sold or sourced. And speaking of that, I'm like, oh, I want to be a person that like sells jeans and pants. I'm like, oh, well, I have to like have some on, in stock to be a person who exists in that category. So that was a focus today. You'll see I got a lot of like bottoms, pants from a couple different brands. I was just kind of branching out a little bit. I'm like, okay, like this looks nice. Or there was a brand I recognized. I'm like, oh, that's a nice brand. I do know that. And so I picked some of those up. And then jeans. Jeans was another thing that I really want to get into jeans. And the reason I say that is I know it has a high sell-through rate on eBay. So I want to get on that train. I don't know how I'm going to do it exactly quite yet. I'm still in the middle of like researching, figuring it out, and just like getting my hands on jeans. But today, and I know it's something I can find because at my Goodwill bins, I've seen them in the past and I've never touched them before because I'm like, I don't think I can sell those. I don't know. And I just was not familiar with it. but this is something I see come down each time I'm there. So I'm like, if this is a location that I can source jeans at, then let me be a person who knows everything about jeans. So I'm in the middle of product research on jeans, and I picked up jeans today. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a category that I can be in. If you do jeans, if you're like the jean person, give me your wisdom. I think there was some good jean purchases I made and some not so good jean purchases I made today. We'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. That is the only thing I do know, because I have sold stuff kind of all over the place. If you've seen any of my previous content, there have been some items I've sold that I'm like, oh, I knew that was going to sell. I knew it was going to sell really well because of what history and sell-through rate has taught me. And then other items that I've just been shocked. I'm like, this, I never thought I'd move this, and I did. So I am still just continuing to learn, and I'm so happy that I can show you all of my wins and losses along the way. Then we can all kind of learn together. With all that being said, I know that was a mouthful. I'm on cloud nine right now about reselling. And I had a coffee. I had my second coffee. So I'm like, I'm feeling really good right now. Let's get into the showcase and let me show you all of the stuff that I got. All right, item number 1. Okay, we are getting into fall, and so I am trying to get on the scarf train. They are super lightweight, and so they cost me next to nothing at the bins, and I know they don't sell for much, but this J. Crew one was in great condition. And then I found this one by Express that was 90% lamb's wool. And so maybe someone who's looking for a specific material might want to pick those up. But I'm hoping between the two of them, I can get $30. Next up, we have an item here that I have never purchased for resale before, and that is vintage lingerie. And I don't know how this is going to do. It looks like it sells, especially this brand. And so I'm excited, and it looked like it was in fairly good condition. So I'm trying to get 26 on that. I've never heard of this brand before. It's called Duckhead, but when I saw it at Goodwill outlet, I was like, this looks like it's pretty high quality. That bold tag really made it stand out. And on the back here, it just looked unique. And when I looked it up, sure enough, they're popular and they sell. So I'm trying to get 30 on these. This next top here, unfortunately, is just the top and not a full set, but it's actually a vintage male pajama shirt from either like around 1960s era. And it's sheer and it's lightweight, and I'm hoping to get 30 on that. Of course, my favorite go-to brand, Ralph Lauren. Whenever I see this at the thrift, I'm getting it, because let me tell you, I sell this, and I feel like it's a very popular thing for all people. So always pick it up. Trying to get 30 on those. This here is kind of a relaxed, flowy fit pant by Chico, and always know this. Chico sizing is weird, so I'm pulling it out to show you the tag so you can see it says right here 1.5, and that actually means size 10 US. So there you have it. Goodwill tag is on this one. That means it went to the Goodwill store before it came to the bins, but as you can see, I only get tagged items far and few between. Looking to get 20. Next up, I have here our Brooks Brothers slacks, or dress pant. I'm not sure exactly how you classify these, but Brooks Brothers, as soon as I saw that on the inside lining, I was like, oh, this is a no-brainer. Now you see the pricing for resale is not that much, around $20-ish, but the sell-through rate is high. So even though it's $20, I'll get $20 quickly. So I'll let you know when they sell. Up next, we have this adorable poncho. I think that's the correct term. Shawl, poncho, I'm not sure. By Michael Kors. And comps were kind of hard to find this exact one, but I'm thinking a pre-owned one will probably go closer to $25, $30. Let's say I get $30 for it. I'll be really happy with that. So yeah, Michael Kors. Next up, I have these Land's End plus size women pants. In full honesty, I should not have bought these because they seem to only resell for around $9 or $10. Now I do make sales that are $9 or $10, but these pants I think weigh a little over a pound. And so that was not something I probably should have picked up, but I'm going to list them and try and get them sold. So we'll see. Okay, next up, I'm going to showcase to you the jackets that I got. And there is a range of jackets. I probably got a little too excited on just like going for the jackets that I thought would be, high profit margin should it sell. And I really just needed to take a step back and think more about quality on those items. There was some repairs that needed to be done on a couple of them, and one had a stain on it. And then the last one was a smoker's jacket. Why? Why did I not just say, even though this thing looks super cool and it has that vintage vibe and it had the worn look, like it just looked amazing, but had that musky smell and cigarette smell. So what I'm thinking is that's going to be a really big turnoff, and I'm definitely going to put it in the listing. But that's the one thing I'm regretting right now. Have any of you out there ever sold an item where you put in the listing that it was from a smoker's home or smoker estate and it still sold? I would love for you to please share with me, because my guess is no. And I just had starry eyes, and I was like, oh, this is such a beautiful jacket. And it had this just cool vintage worn look to it. And I was buzzing on excitement, and I just was like, I gotta have this. And yes, I did smell it. And I don't know why I wasn't so turned off at first, because I feel like I'm fairly sensitive to that, cigarette smell. I think maybe just being at the bins, everything was all vintage-y smelling. Anyways, there's smells at the bins. Just full transparency. I have come across some stinky stuff before. They don't wash it before it comes down the bins. So maybe I was distracted by the aromas that were there, and I wasn't thinking clearly. So anyways, $6 is the mistake that was there, because it was around a 3-pound jacket. And I didn't disclose this earlier, which I'm telling you now. My bins charges $1.89 per pound. So if it's $1.89 per pound, my jacket was 3 pounds, and it's around $6. A potential $6 mistake. I don't know. I'm going to still list it. I'm going to put in the thing there, that it's from a smoker's home or whatever. And I'm going to price it real, real low. And it's a really cool jacket. So I don't know, maybe someone out there, they don't care. Maybe they smoke and they're like, hey, sure, I don't care. I'll take it. Cheap, awesome, cool leather jacket. I don't know. But you know what I do know? You'll be the first to know if and when it happens. Or if it doesn't happen, I will update you first. Okay, enough on my regrets. Let's go ahead and let me show you all the jackets that I got. This here is a London Fog long trench coat. And we're getting into that season. And so I'm really going to try and get $50 for this. It does have some flaws. So I'm willing, to come down a little bit. But I still think I'll get at least 40 for it. Next, I have this Tibor leather jacket, and I just sold one recently for $50. And so as soon as I saw this, I got really excited. So this one has the faux fur thing going on with the hood. So I'm going to try and push for 60 on this one. And it's in really good condition. The lining on the inside seems to be fraying a little bit, but I still think I can get 60. And next up here, I have this vintage Wrangler jean jacket, and it is in pretty good condition still. It has this kind of work worn look, and I'm gonna wash it because it's a little stinky, but overall I think I think jean jackets are really in right now, and I'm gonna try and get at least 40 on that. Next up, I have this vintage brown leather jacket, and it's in okay condition. And this is where I was talking about, where I'm like, I should have been a little bit more strict on condition. All in all, this one is still pretty intact, and just has a little bit of staining kind of on the front, which I think I could probably even just get out with a wipey. But all in all, I think someone would still really appreciate this. It definitely has like that worn, cool look. And that's a little bit on the front there that I think I can wipe off. So I'm going to try and get 50 for it. And here it is, the smoker's jacket. It's by Wilson's Leather, and it looks amazing. I don't feel like the footage is doing it justice. It just has such a cool look to it. Anyways, I found a jacket online that had the whole, hey, it was from a smoker's house, and it sold for $43. I don't think that I'm going to get 43. I will try, but this is like a one-of-a-kind sale, it feels like. So let's say I get $20. If I get $20 out of this, I would be happy. Okay, on to other collectible items I got. Raggedy Ann's. I walked into the bins and someone dumped out like their whole Raggedy Ann collection. A lot of them were stained, but I found those two that were intact that go together, Raggedy Andy and Raggedy Ann. And then I found this Raggedy Andy that was tagged because it's got the official, like from the actual official company. I'm going to sell them as a lot, and I'm going to try and get $50 for all three. Next up, I have this, I don't know if you call this a dress or like an over piece. It's from Torrid, and I was researching brands the other day, and it, according to Google and ChatGPT, Torrid is a popular brand on eBay. So this is a new category and brand for me. I'm not sure. So it was super lightweight. So very, very low risk, paid next to nothing, trying to get 30 on it. I also picked up this other dress that is by a company called Sass Femme. I believe I'm saying that correctly. It seems like they sell online at varying prices, and I know it's fall, and this feels like more of a spring dress. It was so cute. I had to pick it up. This one did make it to Goodwill, as you can see from the tag. But let's just say get $20 on that one. I'll be super happy. And next up, I have this purse. That's a Calvin Klein purse. It was in excellent condition. And they seem to sell when I looked up this style purse. So not for much though, but they do sell often. So I'm hoping to get $20 on this cute little Calvin Klein purse. Next up, this briefcase was tossed back by somebody. And I think it's because it was really hard to see the front little logo here, the H. It's like, couldn't really tell what it was. But when I looked inside on the inner part, I could see it was a leather briefcase by Hartman. And that is a very popular bag brand, and it's vintage, and yes, it's beat up a little bit, but I still think that I can get at least $60 or $70 on it, so I'm going to try and push for 70. This next item is shapewear for after lipo surgery, and after doing further research, it seems like a lot of people buy this brand new, but when I saw shapewear, I was like, you know what, I'm going to just throw it in my basket because I know shapewear can be very expensive. And so I'm going to still try and get $20 out of it. Next up, we have these cute little guys. Eeyore over here is a hand crocheted Eeyore, and it's in really good condition. And so I'm going to try and get 25 on him. Next over here is this little guy. He's a collector's plush, Gund, the dog. I'm thinking I can get 25 on him as well. And then lastly, I have this guy over here who is a Wowie doll. He's animatronic and he works, which is the biggest piece. I'm thinking I'm going to try and get 35 for him. This little number, the Braves jersey, is actually from a Build-A-Bear. So I'll list the jersey separate. But for all three of them and the jersey, I hope to get 90. Next up, I saw someone toss this record back, and I realized after talking with them it's because the record was scratched, but I picked it up because I'm going to try and sell it as a replacement cover for someone who already owns the record, or they might want it for art display. Either way, I'm going to try and get $10 to $15 out of it. Okay, next up, here are all the hats that I got. Hats are a regular mover for me, so I'm really happy and willing to pick these up. First up I have here is this Pink Floyd hat. Nothing special about it, so I'm not thinking I'm going to get more than probably $10 out of it. There is this Masters hat. It's in really poor condition. And after doing more research, I don't know how much I'll get for it. Maybe $10. Over here, this should move pretty well for me. St. Louis Cardinals. It's a New Era hat, and it's in pretty good condition. Then I have this Callaway golf hat, also New Era hat, in pretty good condition as well. So between all 4 hats, I would like to get $50. Next up, we have this one-of-a-kind tennis racket cover for Ole Miss, and from the looks of it and the research, it seems like it's from the 1960s, 70s era. And because it's one of a kind, I think I can get some good money out of it. So I'm going to try and get 40 or $50 for it. Here we have, these are Gore-Tex camo print gloves, and we're coming up on winter. And so I felt like this was an easy ad, and they are in great condition. I see some listed here at varying prices, but I'm going to try and get $30 out of them. Here we have, this is kind of a last minute ad, and honestly, I don't know how much I'm going to actually get out of this one. It's a Thunder shirt. It's to help reduce anxiety for your dog. It is opened, and a lot of them that sell are new. So I don't know. $10, I'm guessing, on that. Patriots beanie here. We're in the middle of football, so I need to hurry up and get this listed. Used beanies don't go for much, but hopefully an easy mover for me. For $10 is what I'm going to list it for, and hopefully I can turn it quickly, seeing that we're in that season. Okay, now I'm going to show you all of the jeans that I got. I'm really excited to start getting into this category, and I got a handful today. It was funny. I was like loading up my cart, and people around you, they make comments sometimes and stuff. And this one gal, she was just like, "Oh, you must be like the jean lady. You must push through and sell so many jeans." I didn't know what to say at first, and I wasn't going to be like, "Actually, I've never sold a pair." Because then she'd be looking at me like, "Why are you buying, 8 pairs of jeans?" I just said, "Oh, yeah, I'm hoping to sell all these." That's all I said, and then kept walking because I didn't want to give her like my whole life story, and because I don't think she wanted that. But anyways, a handful. So I brought them home, and I got to do a little bit more research. I was kind of researching before, like what to look for when I'm pulling out these jeans. And I know that vintage jeans are popular right now, and the sell-through rate seems to be high on eBay. And it seems like the brand Levi's are very popular on eBay and have a high sell-through rate. I also came across a ton of vintage Wrangler jeans when I was sourcing, and those do sell as well. So I picked up some Levi's and some Wranglers. Some vintage and some non-vintage, which I'm kind of bummed because I thought I had picked up all vintage when I was going through them. But a couple things I learned when I got home on some of them that told me that, that they were a modern jean versus a vintage jean. And I'll review all the details with you as I show you each of the jeans I got. So anyways, big learning moment on a handful of those and kind of what to look for. I'm learning a couple of things to look for. So, when you look at the tag, like where was it manufactured? And that's an easy, quick one. Also, the material it's made out of. So newer jeans, which I learned more about when I came home, more modern produced jeans have blends in them. So they're not 100% cotton. A lot of the time there's some kind of a blend, and it's usually, something that kind of gives a little bit of give or stretch in different areas of the fabric. And I think that's partly why a lot of people want to buy vintage jeans these days. I'm assuming is that there's like a purity, standpoint on that, where it's like, oh, it's 100% cotton, like, just built differently, in vintage jeans. And, I can tell, when I pick up some of those jeans that are, from the 80s, 90s and stuff, they're made different than some of the more modern, blends with some, maybe, some of that synthetic fabric that's in there. So let me go ahead and share with you all of the jeans that I picked up. And that way, you can tell me if I won out on, sourcing jeans today. Okay, first up here I have 517 Levi jeans, and it's a boot cut jean, and these particular pair have definitely some workwear on the front. But, you know, some people with vintage jeans, they like that. I don't know. We're going to try. They're 100% cotton, and so I'm going to list them for $20 because they're in poor condition, and we'll see what I can get. Next, I have here are 514 jeans, and I learned when I came home that they're actually not vintage, and I should have known that because you can see here the tags on the inside, they're shiny and newer looking. But you know, even though they're newer, I think that I can still sell them. I'm going to try and get 25 on those. Next up, I have these Levi's 550s. It's a relaxed fit jean. There's a little scuff on the front there, so that will affect the price. But I'm seeing them go online, even worn like that, for around $20-ish. So I'm hoping to get 20 on them. I believe they're vintage. I still have to do a little bit more digging. Next up, we actually have some vintage Wranglers. And so not as popular as Levi's, but they still sell. And I'm excited to get these listed to see if I can get these sold. And they're vintage. They're 100% cotton, which I think is a huge perk. So I see them going online for varying prices, and they're in good condition. So I'm going to try and push for 30 on those. Next up, I have these Levi relaxed fit jean shorts, and they are vintage. As you can see from the tag here, they even have kind of like a almost paper tag, which paper tags definitely signify a vintage jean. So just to kind of keep that in mind. But they're in pretty good condition. I'm going to give them a little bit of a wash and try and get 30 on those. I wanted to talk to you really quick about this little red tag on the back. So I learned this from someone when I was at the thrift, is that this little red tag, Levi's, if you see it has a capital E versus a lowercase e, that signifies whether it was made before or after 1971. So I'm on the hunt. Maybe if I'm lucky someday, I'll find a pair that has a capital E. Okay, next up I have these. They're Wranglers, and they're vintage and in really good condition. They're part of their rugged wear line, and after doing some digging with the tags and Google and ChatGPT, it seems like they are late 90s, early 2000s. So I'm going to try and market them like a Y2K brand, and they're 100% cotton. Looked up all of the stuff here on the tag. So I'm going to try and push for 30. I know they don't go for much seeing the comps online, but you never know. So I'll try and get 30 on those. Okay, next up I have Carhartt pants, which I'm so excited because I feel like everyone else around me whenever I go to the thrift gets them and not me. So I see that they have some workwear on the front there, as you saw I pointed out. And they did cut out the tag from the backside, but I'm going to just hand measure it and look up to be sure as to what size these are. And overall, though, they're in pretty good condition still. So comps kind of seem all over the place, but I'm still going to try and get 35 for those. Next up here, we have actually a pretty niche brand. I believe they're based out of LA. It's called Just Black Denim, and they don't sell in the droves. Like I could only find a few comps, but they were made in USA. They looked in really great condition. And so I'm going to try and get 40 on them because they originally retailed pretty high. So 40 on those. And then my favorite pair that I found, look at the condition on these. They are in excellent condition and they're vintage. Paper tag, as you can see there, they are made in the USA, made in Canada, and they're 100% cotton, 505s, Levi's. This is like my best find so far. So I'm going to try and get 40 on those. Okay, and there you have it. That is my haul in its entirety. And I am excited to hurry up and get all this listed so that I can tell you when and how it's sold and all of the details around it. I am excited because I only spent $111 and some change, and I am hoping to make a large profit off of that in the selling of all these items. So potential profits are high. As always, I am very hopeful for my business, and I always try and have a positive and optimistic outlook on this. I will be updating you as things sell and the profitability of my business along the way. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I cannot wait to chat with you soon. Have a wonderful day.